Sophia Daniels looked out from the window of the starship Aurora as it gently approached the green-blue planet called Zephyra. She felt excitement and nervousness in equal measure. This mission was important, as it would decide the future relationship between humans and Zephyrians. She adjusted her simple diplomat uniform, trying to appear calm and professional. "We're ready to land, Sophia," the pilot announced softly over the speaker. She nodded and stood up, smoothing her clothes once more. Beside her, Jake Carter, a friendly and easygoing engineer, gave her an encouraging smile. "Relax," he said warmly. "We prepared for this moment for months. Everything will be fine." Sophia smiled back, appreciating his positivity. Jake always seemed to handle pressure better than anyone else on the Aurora. His easy charm and genuine warmth made him likable and approachable, both important qualities for their diplomatic mission. Ship landed softly on the landing pad. As the door opened slowly, fresh air filled the cabin, sweet and floral. Sophia stepped forward, followed closely by Jake and a small team of specialists. Standing at the base of the ramp were several Zephyrians. Tall, graceful beings with delicate features and large, expressive eyes. One Zephyrian stepped forward. She was slender and elegant, with a silvery blue shimmer to her skin and long, flowing hair that seemed to move gently, as though touched by an invisible breeze. Her eyes were a deep violet, curious and welcoming. "Welcome to Zephyra," she said, her voice soft and musical. "I am Liana, and it is my honor to greet you." Sophia stepped down and offered her hand, a human gesture they had shared beforehand to avoid misunderstanding. Liana carefully extended her slender hand and touched Sophia's briefly, a delicate gesture filled with mutual respect. "Thank you, Liana," Sophia said warmly. "We are happy to be here. Your planet is truly beautiful." Jake stepped forward next, and Liana turned her violet eyes toward him. "I'm Jake," he said, extending his hand confidently. Liana hesitated for just a moment before reaching out to touch his hand. The moment her fingers brushed his skin, her eyes widened slightly. Sophia noticed the small change but said nothing, assuming it was just surprise at the new sensation. "It is nice to meet you, Jake," Liana said softly, her voice slightly uncertain now. She quickly withdrew her hand and stepped back, looking away briefly. Sophia felt curious about Liana's sudden reaction, but decided it was best to continue with the introduction smoothly. The rest of the greeting passed without incident, though Sophia could not help but notice how Liana glanced toward Jake repeatedly. Appearing confused or distracted. After the official welcome ended, the group began their walk toward the nearby diplomatic hall. Sophia walked beside Liana, trying to engage her in conversation about their cultures and traditions. Jake followed close behind, chatting with one of Liana's assistants, completely unaware of the Zephyrian woman's growing discomfort. Once inside the diplomatic hall, Liana excused herself hurriedly. "Please forgive me," she said softly, avoiding eye contact with Jake. "I must attend to something important." Sophia watched as Liana quickly disappeared down a hallway. She felt concerned and decided to find out more, speaking quietly with one of Liana's assistants. "Is everything all right with Liana? She seemed upset." The assistant, another graceful Zephyrian named Mira, hesitated before speaking. "I am unsure," Mira replied softly, her voice filled with worry. "She appeared to experience an unexpected reaction to your presence. It is uncommon among our people." Sophia thanked Mira for her honesty, feeling more puzzled now than before. She glanced back at Jake, who seemed relaxed, chatting easily with another Zephyrian technician. Sophia realized this mission had suddenly become more complicated than she had expected. In her private quarters, Liana paced nervously. Her body felt warm and her heart was racing, sensations she had never felt so intensely before. She closed her eyes, trying to calm herself, but images of Jake kept appearing in her mind, causing her heart to beat even faster. "What is happening to me?" she whispered to herself, confusion and worry evident in her voice. She knew her people had biological responses triggered by certain stimuli, But she had never imagined something as simple as a glance or a brief touch could cause such an intense reaction. She took a deep breath, resolving to keep her composure and handle this unexpected challenge as professionally as possible. Liana knew she had to return soon. She could not allow personal feelings to disrupt such an important diplomatic event. Gathering her courage, she stepped back outside, determined to keep her focus, even as her heart fluttered anxiously at the thought of encountering Jake again. After taking several calming breaths, Liana returned to the diplomatic hall. She tried her best to appear calm and professional, even though her heart continued to race. Her violet eyes quickly scanned the room, immediately spotting Jake. He was deep in conversation with Sophia, and the sight of his easy smile sent another wave of warmth through her body. Liana forced herself to look away, feeling embarrassed. Sophia noticed Liana's return and quickly approached her. "Are you feeling better, Liana?" she asked gently, genuine concern evident in her eyes. Liana nodded slowly, managing a weak smile. "Yes, thank you, Sophia. Forgive me for my abrupt departure earlier." "No need for apologies," Sophia said kindly. "We're all here to learn from each other. If you need anything, please let me know." Grateful for Sophia's kindness, Liana relaxed. "Slightly. Your understanding means a great deal. This experience is new and somewhat confusing to me." Sophia tilted her head slightly, her curiosity clear. "What do you mean by new?" Liana hesitated, choosing her words carefully. "My species experiences a strong biological reaction when we meet a compatible partner. Usually, this reaction is slow, gradual. However, today, when I touched Jake's hand, it happened immediately and intensely." Sophia's eyes widened with surprise. "That explains your reaction earlier. Did Jake do something wrong?" "Not at all," Liana quickly assured her. "He was perfectly polite. It is purely a physical and emotional reaction that I have no control over." Sophia nodded thoughtfully. "Should I inform Jake about this? Perhaps he could help by being more careful." Liana felt warmth flood her cheeks again, feeling awkward and vulnerable. "I am uncertain. Perhaps it would be best to handle this privately for now." Sophia smiled understandingly. "As you wish, Liana. Just remember, we are here to build trust and understanding. Being open might help us better understand each other's cultures." "Thank you, Sophia. I will consider your words carefully," Liana responded softly. As Sophia walked away, Liana watched her carefully approach Jake. She quickly turned her attention to other diplomats to keep her emotions under control. Still, she couldn't help but listen closely when Jake and Sophia spoke quietly together. "Is Liana all right?" Jake asked Sophia softly. "She seemed uncomfortable earlier." Sophia chose her words carefully. "She is experiencing a reaction that is unique to her species. It seems your presence triggered something within her." Jake looked puzzled. "Did I offend her in some way?" "No," Sophia quickly reassured him. "Quite the opposite. It seems you unintentionally caused her to experience strong emotions. She's simply unsure how to handle it." Jake's expression softened into genuine concern. "Maybe I should speak to her?" "Perhaps later," Sophia advised gently. "She asked for privacy right now." Jake nodded thoughtfully. "Of course. I don't want to make things worse for her." As evening approached, the delegates gathered for a formal dinner hosted by the Zephyrian Council. Liana, despite her nerves, sat gracefully at the table, careful not to glance too often toward Jake. Still, she could feel his presence, making it hard to focus. During the meal, the Zephyrian elder, a wise woman named Delira, spoke warmly to their human guests. "Tonight, we celebrate friendship and understanding between our peoples. May this meal symbolize the beginning of a lasting bond." Everyone raised their glasses in agreement, and conversation flowed smoothly afterward. Jake spoke animatedly with a Zephyrian scientist sitting next to him, and Liana found herself admiring his ease and confidence from afar. Her heart fluttered once more, and she took a deep breath to calm herself. When the dinner ended, the guests began to mingle informally. Jake eventually found himself standing near Liana. He approached cautiously, keeping Sophia's advice in mind. "Liana," he said gently, giving her a friendly smile, "I hope you're feeling better now." Liana's heart quickened again, but she steadied herself. "Thank you, Jake. I'm feeling somewhat better." "Your concern is kind." Jake hesitated, clearly wanting to say more but uncertain how. "Sophia explained a bit about your reaction. I apologize if my presence has made things uncomfortable for you." Liana smiled softly, touched by his sensitivity. "You have nothing to apologize for. This is simply an unusual situation for me." Jake relaxed, relieved by her words. "If you ever need someone to talk to, or if there is anything I can do to make things easier, please let me know." Liana felt warmth bloom in her chest, comforted by his genuine offer. "Thank you, Jake. Your kindness means a great deal." He nodded warmly and gently stepped back, allowing her space. Liana watched him thoughtfully, realizing her feelings were growing deep about a minute, complicating everything. The next morning, sunlight gently filtered through the windows of the diplomatic residence, waking Liana from a restless sleep. Memories of the previous day's events immediately filled her mind, making her heart race once more. With a determined sigh, she sat up, resolving to understand what was happening to her. Liana quickly dressed and went to the science lab located in the diplomatic compound. She hoped studying human biology might offer her some clues about her strange reactions. Inside, various screens showed detailed data collected from human visitors. Her friend Myra, already working there, looked up as Liana entered. "Good morning, Liana," Myra greeted her warmly. "Are you feeling any better today?" Liana smiled gently, grateful for Myra's comforting presence. "I am trying to understand what happened yesterday. Perhaps studying human biology might provide answers." "That's a wise decision," Myra agreed kindly. "Humans have been very open in sharing their medical information. We can review their data together." For hours they studied screens and data, learning about human emotions, pheromones, and how humans form bonds. As Liana learned more, she began to understand the powerful nature of her reaction. Humans release pheromones unconsciously, capable of affecting others deeply. "This explains much," Liana said thoughtfully. "Jake's pheromones triggered a strong biological response in me. But why him specifically?" Myra thought for a moment. "Perhaps it is also connected to your emotional compatibility. Humans speak of attraction and affection playing significant roles." Liana blushed softly. "Could this mean I have a deeper emotional connection to Jake?" "It's possible," Myra said gently. "But only you can truly know your feelings." After a long moment of reflection, Liana nodded. "I need to speak with Jake again to understand him better." "Be careful," Myra advised softly. "Your feelings may grow stronger if you spend more time with him." "I understand," Liana replied quietly. "But avoiding him will not help me either." Later that day, Liana found Jake working in the gardens outside the diplomatic residence. He was busy examining plants native to Zephyra, carefully documenting each one. The sight of him made her heart flutter again, but she steadied herself and approached. Jake turned and smiled warmly upon seeing her. "Hi, Liana. It's good to see you again." "Hello, Jake," she replied softly. "What are you studying here?" He eagerly began to explain, clearly excited. "These plants are fascinating. They could offer benefits for both our worlds. Some might be used for medicines or food. Your planet is full of incredible discoveries." His enthusiasm made Liana smile genuinely, her nerves easing slightly. "I am glad you appreciate Zephyra. Our planet is indeed special to us." "I can see why," Jake replied earnestly. "And your people have been very welcoming. It means a lot." They continued to talk about plants and the potential benefits of their collaboration. As they spoke, Liana felt her nervousness slowly fading away, replaced by a deep sense of comfort in Jake's presence. "Jake," Liana finally began hesitantly, "I need to discuss something personal." He immediately gave her his full attention, his expression gentle. Of course, please tell me what's on your mind. She took a deep breath before speaking. Yesterday, my reaction was due to human pheromones. Your biology triggered a mating response in me. Jake listened carefully, nodding with understanding. Sophia mentioned something about that, but I still don't fully understand why it was so strong. Neither did I, until I studied more, she admitted softly. Human pheromones interact with Zephyrians uniquely, especially when there is potential emotional compatibility. Jake's eyes widened slightly in surprise. You mean there's more to it than just biology? Yes, she whispered gently. It indicates a deeper connection could exist between us. He smiled softly, clearly touched by her honesty. I'm glad you told me, Liana. This must have been difficult for you. She nodded slowly, her heart full of uncertainty. It has been confusing. But speaking with you has helped greatly. Jake gently reached out and touched her hand, careful not to overwhelm her. Whatever happens, I'll respect your feelings and comfort. I just want you to be happy. His warmth and sincerity made her heart flutter yet again, but now it felt comforting rather than overwhelming. Thank you, Jake, she whispered softly. Your kindness means more than you know. They continued to talk, sharing details of their lives, cultures, and dreams for the future. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in soft shades of pink and purple, Liana felt a deep sense of peace. She realized that no matter how complicated things became, having Jake by her side made everything feel possible. The following day was marked by preparations for a special Zephyrian celebration meant to honor the newly formed bonds between humans and Zephyrians. Bright banners and beautiful decorations were placed carefully throughout the diplomatic center. Liana watched with quiet excitement, knowing this event would provide another opportunity to spend time with Jake. Sophia Daniels approached her with a warm smile. Are you ready for tonight, Liana? I believe so, Liana replied softly, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. It's a significant night for both our peoples. Absolutely, Sophia agreed enthusiastically. These celebrations are important for strengthening our friendship, and perhaps they will also help clarify personal connections. Liana blushed slightly, understanding Sophia's meaning clearly. I hope so too. As evening approached, the main hall filled with both humans and Zephyrians dressed in their finest clothing. The gentle hum of excited voices filled the air, and soft music played from hidden speakers, adding to the peaceful atmosphere. Liana wore an elegant gown that shimmered softly in shades of silver and blue, complementing her graceful figure and delicate features. She glanced around nervously, her heart quickening when she saw Jake enter the hall. He was dressed formally, looking handsome and confident, and he immediately spotted her in the crowd. With a warm smile, he walked toward her. You look stunning, Liana, Jake said sincerely, his voice gentle. Thank you, she replied softly, feeling warmth spread through her. You also look very nice. The music shifted to a more rhythmic melody, signaling the start of traditional Zephyrian dances. Couples began moving gracefully to the music, and Jake looked at Liana with curiosity. Would you like to dance? I would like that very much, Liana responded quietly, her heart beating faster. Taking his hand, she led him gently to the dance floor. As they began moving together, Liana felt comforted by Jake's presence and the simple rhythm of their steps. She guided him carefully through each movement, finding joy in their growing synchronization. You're quite good at this, Jake whispered warmly, smiling down at her. You are learning quickly, she replied softly, feeling more relaxed and happy than she had in days dot around them. Other couples watched with approval, sensing the special bond forming between the human engineer and the Zephyrian scientist. Even Sophia and Mira exchanged knowing smiles as they observed Jake and Liana's gentle connection. After the dance, Jake guided Liana to a quiet balcony overlooking a serene garden. Soft lights illuminated the plants, casting a gentle glow over everything. It's beautiful here, Jake said quietly, clearly enchanted by the peaceful scene. It is one of my favorite places, Liana admitted shyly. It calms me. Jake turned to her, sincerity clear in his eyes. I'm glad you brought me here. I feel honored that you trust me. You've earned my trust, she replied softly. Your kindness and understanding mean more than I can express. They stood quietly together, enjoying the peaceful moment each, feeling a growing closeness. Eventually, Jake spoke gently. Liana, I want you to know that whatever happens, our friendship means a great deal to me. I don't want you to feel pressure because of your reaction. Touched by his thoughtfulness, Liana smiled warmly. Jake, my reaction is only a small part of why I feel drawn to you. Your kindness, curiosity, and openness make you truly special. Jake's eyes softened, clearly moved by her words. Thank you, Liana. You make me feel welcome and valued here. Because you are, she replied earnestly. You are an important part of what makes our worlds coming together so special. As the evening continued, they shared stories about their families, friends, and dreams, deepening their bond. Jake spoke fondly of Earth, describing its oceans, mountains, and vibrant cities. Liana listened closely, fascinated and eager to learn more about the world he cherished. Perhaps someday I can visit Earth, she said softly, excitement clear in her voice. I would love that, Jake replied warmly. Showing you my home would mean a lot to me. Liana smiled, imagining the possibilities their future could hold. She realized that her initial fear and confusion had transformed into genuine affection and hope. Together, they had found comfort and understanding despite their differences. As the celebration drew to a close, Jake gently escorted Liana back inside. They stood quietly near the entrance, reluctant to say goodbye. Tonight has been wonderful, Jake said softly, his eyes warm and sincere. Yes, it truly has, Liana whispered gently, feeling peaceful and happy. As Jake slowly stepped back, he gently squeezed her hand. Good night, Liana. Sleep well. Good night, Jake, she replied softly, watching him leave. In her heart, Liana knew that tonight had been more than just a celebration. It marked the beginning of something truly special. The day following the celebration brought unexpected complications. News of Jake and Liana's growing connection spread quickly throughout the diplomatic center. Most reactions were positive, hopeful about the deepening bond between humans and Zephyrians. However, some factions within Zephyrian society strongly opposed interspecies relationships, viewing them as unnatural and disruptive. Alira, the wise elder of the Zephyrian Council, summoned Liana for a private discussion. Liana entered Alira's peaceful chamber feeling nervous, unsure of what to expect. Alira greeted her warmly, her gentle eyes filled with understanding. Sit down, Liana, Alira invited kindly. We must talk about your connection with the human, Jake Carter. Liana sat down slowly, trying to calm her racing heart. Elder Alira, Jake has shown only kindness and respect. Our friendship has grown naturally. I understand your feelings, dear, Alira said softly, but some within our community strongly oppose this closeness. They fear it might damage our traditions and customs. But, Elder, Liana protested gently, isn't understanding and acceptance what our mission is all about? Alira nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful. Indeed, you speak wisely. Still, we must find balance. There will be a council meeting tonight to discuss this matter openly. You and Jake should both attend. Liana agreed quietly, knowing the evening would be challenging but necessary. Later that afternoon, Liana found Jake working again in the gardens, quietly reflecting. He smiled when he saw her approach, but quickly noticed her worried expression. Is everything all right, Liana? He asked with immediate concern. Jake, she said softly, the council wishes to discuss our relationship tonight. Some members disapprove strongly. Jake listened carefully, taking her hand reassuringly. We'll face it together. Honesty and openness are important. We've done nothing wrong. Comforted by his calm strength, Liana nodded gently. Thank you for standing by me. As evening fell, they entered the council chamber together. The atmosphere was tense, the room filled with council members, diplomats, and various observers. Alira rose gracefully, signaling for quiet. We are here tonight to openly discuss the growing bond between Liana and Jake Carter, Alira began clearly. Some feel their relationship threatens our traditions, while others believe it strengthens our mission of unity. We must hear all voices. An elder named Varane spoke first, his voice firm and serious. Our society has always maintained clear boundaries. Allowing interspecies relationships will confuse our people and weaken our customs. Several others nodded in agreement, murmuring quietly. Liana felt her heart tighten with worry. Jake gently squeezed her hand, silently giving her strength. Sophia Daniels stood next, her voice calm and respectful. Human history shows us that embracing differences often leads to greater understanding and strength. Jake and Liana's bond could be a powerful example of harmony between our peoples. Myra also stepped forward to speak softly. Liana has always represented the best of our people, open-minded and brave. Her connection with Jake is genuine and respectful. It reflects the potential of our alliance. The discussion continued, many voices sharing varied opinions. Finally, Alira invited Jake and Liana to speak. Jake stood confidently, speaking clearly. I deeply respect Zephyrian traditions and understand your concerns. My friendship with Liana grew from mutual respect and genuine affection. I believe it symbolizes what both our people strive for: unity, understanding, and peace. Liana spoke next, her voice steady despite her nervousness. Jake and I come from different worlds, yet our bond has grown naturally, built on kindness and respect. This does not weaken our traditions, but enhances them. It demonstrates that harmony between our peoples is possible and valuable. The room fell silent, many reflecting deeply on the sincere words they had heard. Alira rose again, her voice gentle, but firm. We must consider carefully. Change is often difficult, yet it can bring great benefit. Tomorrow, the Council will vote formally on this matter. Until then, let us reflect on what we have heard tonight. As the gathering ended, Jake and Liana stepped outside together, feeling both hopeful and anxious. No matter the outcome, I'm grateful to have faced this with you, Jake said softly, his eyes sincere. Liana smiled gently, her heart full of warmth. Whatever happens, we've shown that respect and understanding can overcome fear and prejudice. Jake nodded warmly, gently squeezing her hand again. And we'll continue to do so, no matter what the future holds. Under the soft starlight, they stood together quietly, knowing their bond had grown stronger from facing this challenge openly. Despite the uncertainty of tomorrow's decision, they felt confident in each other and the unity they represented. The next morning arrived bright and clear, but for Liana and Jake, the day felt heavy with uncertainty. The upcoming council decision weighed heavily on their minds. Liana stood quietly by a large window, watching the sunlight dance across the forest. Beautiful landscape, trying to find peace within herself. A soft knock sounded at the door, pulling her attention away. She opened it to find Sophia Daniels standing there with a reassuring smile. Good morning, Liana. How are you feeling? Liana sighed gently. I am anxious, Sophia. I never expected our relationship to become a political issue. Sophia placed a comforting hand on Liana's shoulder. I understand. But remember, both you and Jake spoke honestly and clearly. Your sincerity reached many hearts last night. Liana nodded softly, comforted by Sophia's encouragement. Thank you for your support. It means so much to us. Of course, Sophia replied warmly. Jake asked me to check on you. He is waiting for you in the gardens. With a grateful smile, Liana thanked Sophia and made her way to the gardens, where Jake was waiting. He greeted her with a gentle smile, though worry showed in his eyes. How are you holding up? Jake asked softly, gently taking her hand. It is hard to be patient, Liana admitted quietly, her voice steady despite the tension. But your presence makes it easier. Jake smiled warmly, clearly touched. Whatever happens today, we'll face it together. Together, they walked through the peaceful garden, taking comfort in each other's presence. Time passed quickly, and soon it was time for the council to reconvene. The council chamber was filled once more, everyone waiting to hear the final decision. Alira stood calmly, looking around at the assembled faces. Her voice was clear and firm. As she began to speak, after much reflection, the council has reached a decision. We understand the concerns expressed about preserving our culture, but we also recognize the strength found in unity, respect, and openness. Liana's heart quickened, and she squeezed Jake's hand tightly as Alira continued. Therefore, the council supports the bond between Jake Carter and Liana. We believe it symbolizes the best of what our partnership can offer: harmony, understanding, and growth. A ripple of relief and joy spread throughout the chamber. Liana felt tears of happiness fill her eyes, and Jake smiled broadly, clearly relieved. However, Alira added seriously, we must continue to respect each other's traditions. Your relationship must be an example of the careful balance needed for unity. Jake stepped forward, respectfully addressing the council. We are deeply honored by your trust. We promise to respect both Zephyrian and human traditions, striving always to be examples of harmony. Liana nodded earnestly. We understand our responsibility. Our bond will serve as a bridge between our worlds. The council members smiled, warmly, clearly moved by their sincerity. Alira spoke once more, her voice gentle. Then it is decided. May your connection inspire all of us to deeper understanding and cooperation. With the official announcement concluded, the room filled with quiet conversation and gentle applause. Jake and Liana felt overwhelmed by the support, knowing they had faced a significant test together. As they stepped outside afterward, Jake gently hugged Liana, his relief clear. We did it, he whispered happily. Yes, Liana said softly, smiling warmly at him. Together. The rest of the day passed in quiet celebration among their friends and supporters. Sophia, Myra, and others offered their heartfelt congratulations, sharing in the joy of the moment. That evening, Jake and Liana returned to the gardens, the place that had become so special to them both. Under the soft glow of twilight, Jake gently held Liana's hand, speaking sincerely. This experience taught me the value of honesty, courage, and patience. Being with you has made me a better person, Liana. Liana smiled tenderly, deeply touched. And you have taught me to embrace change and trust my heart. You are special to me in ways I never imagined. Jake gently brushed a strand of hair from her face, his eyes warm and affectionate. Our worlds may be different, but our hearts speak the same language. I'm grateful we found each other. As the sky darkened and stars began appearing, Jake softly kissed Liana's forehead, sealing their promise to face whatever came next together. In that quiet moment, they understood clearly that their journey was just beginning. They knew challenges might still arise, but together, they had proven they could overcome them. Their bond was now stronger than ever, shining brightly as a symbol of hope and unity for both their worlds. Days turned into weeks, and the bond between Jake and Liana grew deeper. With the council's approval behind them, they became symbols of hope and unity, inspiring both humans and Zephyrians to explore stronger connections. Their daily routines included helping foster greater understanding between their two worlds, sharing traditions, and creating new ways to collaborate. One bright afternoon, Jake invited Liana to join him on an excursion to a special place he had found. Curious and excited, Liana agreed happily. Jake guided her gently along a winding path through Zephora's lush forest. Sharing stories from his home on Earth as they walked, they arrived at a beautiful clearing surrounded by tall trees, their leaves shimmering softly in the sunlight. A small stream ran gently through the center, creating a peaceful melody. Liana's eyes widened in amazement at the beauty of the place. It's wonderful here, she whispered softly, deeply moved by the serenity. I thought you might like it, Jake said warmly, clearly pleased by her reaction. This spot reminded me of places back home on Earth. Liana looked at him, her expression thoughtful and sincere. Jake, will you tell me more about Earth? I want to understand your world even better. He smiled gently, nodding eagerly. Of course. Earth is diverse and beautiful, full of life and different cultures. Humans have struggled many times to accept differences, but when we have, we've grown stronger and better. It sounds both complex and beautiful, Liana said softly. Your openness has helped me understand that differences can truly strengthen us. Jake gently took her hand, his eyes sincere. Exactly. Meeting you has taught me that unity can exist, even in diversity. Our bond proves that different species can share deep understanding and friendship. They sat quietly by the stream, enjoying the tranquility of the moment. Jake pulled a small box from his pocket, looking slightly nervous. Liana watched him curiously, her heart beating faster. Liana, Jake began softly, holding the small box gently. I wanted to give you something special, a symbol of what we've built together. Carefully, he opened the box, revealing a beautiful pendant shaped like two intertwined circles. One circle was made from Zephyrian crystal, the other from a rare stone found only on Earth. It shimmered beautifully in the sunlight, reflecting their intertwined lives. Jake, Liana whispered softly, her eyes filling with emotion. It's beautiful. He gently took the pendant and placed it around her neck, smiling warmly. These two circles represent our worlds joined in friendship and love. It's my promise to always respect, support, and cherish you. Liana touched the pendant gently, deeply moved by his thoughtful gift. Thank you, Jake. It means more to me than words can say. Jake gently cupped her cheek, looking deeply into her eyes. Meeting you changed my life, Liana. You have shown me true kindness, courage, and beauty. And you have shown me the strength and joy found in embracing change. Liana replied softly, her heart full of warmth. Together, we have proven that harmony is possible. They sat together quietly, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. Soon after, Sophia, Myra, and their friends organized a special gathering to celebrate Jake and Liana's bond. It was held in the gardens, the very place where their journey had begun. During the celebration, Alira approached them warmly, her gentle smile full of pride. Jake, Liana, your bond is a guiding star for us all. May your example lead us to a future of lasting peace and understanding. Thank you, Elder Alira, Liana said softly, deeply touched. We promise to always cherish and nurture the unity between our peoples. Indeed, Jake agreed warmly. Our friendship symbolizes the strength found in respect, patience, and openness. Alira nodded happily, her eyes sparkling with joy. You have our support and blessing always. As the gathering continued into the night, the gardens glowed softly. Under the starlight, filled with laughter, warmth, and joy. Jake and Liana moved among their friends, deeply grateful for the support and encouragement surrounding them. Later, as the guests slowly departed, Jake and Liana stood quietly together under the stars. They felt peaceful, knowing they had faced challenges with honesty and courage, building a bond that would inspire others. Our journey has been incredible, Jake said softly, gently squeezing her hand. And it is just beginning, Liana replied warmly. Together, we will continue to show the beauty of unity and understanding. Jake smiled lovingly, his eyes filled with hope. I look forward to every moment of it. In the quiet embrace of the night, they stood together, confident in their future. Their relationship had become a symbol of hope, guiding both humans and Zephyrians toward greater understanding, unity, and peace. Together, they would keep building bridges between their worlds, embracing every challenge and joy side by side.